Hello, boys and girls. This is Miss Anton. Today we will be reading a story called The Magic Stream. And remember, we are reading to recount our stories and determine the central message and how it connects to key details. So this is what a stream looks like. This is when Miss Anton went to Nevada, and it's a very long stream that goes into a river. The water is usually very, very cold in a stream as well. Okay, so recount is retelling the story in the sequence of events as they occurred and explaining the central message. So remember, when we are retelling a story or recounting a story, you need to include the important parts, which means you need to include the characters, the setting, and what happened in the beginning, the middle, and the end. The central message of a story is the lesson the author wants to share. The story will teach the lesson through the characters, events, and what the characters learned. The key details will help you determine the central message. Sometimes the author tells the lesson at the end of the story. Okay, so we have the tortoise and the hare. Does anyone know what the lesson or central message of this story is? So the central message of this story is that slow and steady wins the race. Because in the story, the hare is all confident, going really, really fast. He gets so confident he takes a nap. Well, when he wakes up, the tortoise was able to catch up and win the race. So slow and steady wins the race is the lesson in that story. What is the central message in this story? The lion and the mouse. Is it kindness and fairness comes in all sizes? Or is it the bigger you are, the smarter and faster you are? If you said B, then you are correct. Kindness and fairness comes in all sizes. Okay, so a few words to know for today. We have the word stream, which is a narrow river or a flowing body of water. So they have a picture of one here, or you can look back at the one I showed you at the beginning. We have the word insisted. Insisted means to demand something forcefully, not being able to accept refusal. So here we have the boy insisted on crossing over the monkey bars just like his big brother. So he is insisting that he does it. He is not going to give up. Okay, we have the word shuffled. Shuffled means walking by dragging your feet. And we have a guy here who is walking and dragging his feet as he walks. And then we have the word slumber. Slumber means it's a deep sleep, which shows a little boy here sleeping. Okay, at the end we can play a Kahoot. But first we need to begin reading. So this is our story, The Magic Stream. So our purpose for reading today is to figure out what is the central message of this story. Okay, now we need to make sure that we mark up our text features. So the first text feature that I see is the title. So I'm going to circle my title. And then I also have a picture here which looks like it's a picture of a stream. So I'm going to circle that as well. Okay. And we're going to turn our title into a question. My question that I have is, what happened in the magic stream? Okay, so now we are ready to read. Once upon a time, there was a young boy who was very lazy. He hated to do work of any kind. He loved to lie in bed most of the day, only getting up when his mother called him for a meal. His parents were disappointed in his behavior, but because they loved him, they let him do as he wished. Eventually, the boy grew old enough to go to school. Even though he wanted to stay at home in his bed, his parents insisted that he get up and go. So the boy started down the path toward town, and his parents smiled and waved. Okay, so we have a character, which is the young boy. And we also have his parents. So we'll mark a CH above those. Okay, we also have the word lazy. The word lazy is a character trait. So this is how the boy is. He is a lazy child who just wants to sleep all the time. Okay? So what were the parents feeling? They were feeling disappointed. Can anyone tell me why they were disappointed in him? They were disappointed in him because he just wanted to stay at home in his bed all the time. That is all he wanted to do. Okay, and then we have a key word. The key word we have in this paragraph is the word insisted, which means to demand something. So they're demanding that he goes to school. And then we have a setting. Our setting that we have is the town. Paragraph 2. Now the boy did not plan to go to school where he would have to work on lessons. Instead, he shuffled along as slowly as a turtle until he came to a place where the path ran deep through a deep forest. Here the trees grew thickly together, and it looked to the boy like a good place to hide. He planned to sleep away the day and then return home in the afternoon. Okay, so we have the word shuffled, which is a key word. Alrighty, and right here it says he planned, let me underline that, he planned to sleep away the day and return home in the afternoon. He is planning this. So these are his motivations. His motivation is to sleep. So he is planning on finding a spot and falling asleep. What is the boy's point of view about working or going to school? Okay, his point of view of those things is they're not fun. He just wants to sleep all day. He does not want to work hard. He does not want to have to do anything. Paragraph 3. As the boy stepped from the path into the forest, the pine needles felt like a soft carpet beneath his feet. It was quiet, cool, and dark in this place. Walking a little farther, he came to a small stream that gurgled and murmured as it skipped along its course. Kneeling beside the water, he cupped his hands and drank the cool water. Little did he know that the water had magic powers. So we have a keyword, which is the word stream. Okay, and now this part right here, where it says, little did he know that the water had magic powers. That is going to be our problem. Why would he drink from there? And what kind of magic powers does that water have? Paragraph 4. After his drink, the boy lay down on the soft ground and used his lunch bag for a pillow. Soon the stillness of the forest and the soft bubbles of the water made him drowsy. It is so pleasant here, he said. I wish I could sleep here for 15 days. And with that, he fell into a deep slumber. Late that afternoon, we have a keyword, I'm sorry. Our keyword is slumber, so let's make sure we highlight that one. Late that afternoon, the boy's parents wondered why he did not come home from school. Together they walked to town, but the teacher had not seen their son. I bet that lazy boy found a place to sleep and is still sleeping, said his father. As the sun sank toward the horizon in the west, they returned home to an empty house. The boy's mother thought that perhaps he had lost his way. They decided to look for him again in the morning. Okay, so how did the boy's actions affect his parents? Well, they affected his parents by making them worry about where he is, and they made him worried, right? And so then they had to go out and look for him. The fact that they had to go out and look for him again in the morning, that is our resolution, okay? Our resolution is showing us that they are trying to solve the problem, but they haven't quite solved it yet, okay? Alrighty, paragraph 6. The next day and for 2 weeks thereafter, the parents searched for their son. They asked everyone they knew to watch for him, but he seemed to have vanished into thin air. Time passed and the boy continued to sleep in the forest by the magic stream. Then, on the 15th day, he suddenly awoke. To him it seemed as though he had slept for just the one day. Seeing the sun sinking in the western sky, he got up and ran home. Imagine how surprised his parents were to see him coming into the house as though he had been gone just one day. They rejoiced to see him and explained how worried they had been. The boy realized how much he had distressed his parents, and it made him sad. From that day on, the once lazy boy worked hard helping his mother and father, and he went to school every day. He had learned that you should be careful what you wish for. Okay, so he realized what he caused his parents. He caused them so much distress, and he felt sad about that, okay? So our central message in this story was that he learned that you should be careful what you wish for, okay? So if you noticed this, right here it says on the 15th day he suddenly awoke. And in the middle over here, he said, I wish I could sleep for 15 days. So those are connected. That's why they are teaching you that you should be careful what you wish for. So this was our solution over here. He finally woke up and realized that he can't be lazy anymore, right? So how did the boy change from the beginning to the end? Well, in the beginning of the story, the boy was lazy. All he did was sleep all day long. He didn't want to go to school, so he found a place to sleep. And then when he slept for 15 days and realized how much distress that caused his parents, he woke up, he was like, I'm not going to be lazy anymore, and now he works hard helping his mom and his dad. And he goes to school every single day. So that is how he changed from the beginning to the end. Alrighty, so today's mystery word is Nevada, where Miss Anton is from. And now you are ready to do your exit ticket. Bye, guys.